My precious child, stop for a moment and listen closely because this message did not appear before you by accident. I know your mind has been overwhelmed lately and I know your heart has been carrying a weight nobody else fully understands. But what I am about to reveal can no longer be ignored. This is urgent. This concerns the person who caused deep wounds inside your spirit, and something connected to them is now moving directly toward your home. It will disturb the silence that has been resting over your life like a shadow for far too long. I am Archangel Michael, and I do not speak unless heaven itself commands me to. Today I was sent with truth. This is not an ordinary message. It is a divine warning wrapped inside mercy. A heartbreak is approaching. And this time it will not stay hidden behind silence, excuses, or lies. It is coming directly to your door. The one who made your eyes fill with tears instead of protecting them. The one who vanished during the moment you needed them most. The person who deceived you while pretending everything was fine. Yes, that person is about to be revealed completely. And your heart, beloved child, must prepare itself now. I know these words are difficult to hear. I can feel the pressure building inside your chest already. Questions are racing through your mind. Who is it? When will it happen? What comes next? But listen carefully. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to prepare you because the truth arriving into your life may hurt at first, but hidden inside it is also freedom. What remained hidden in darkness is finally stepping into the light. And if your spirit reacted while reading these words, if your heartbeat shifted or your soul felt stirred, that is not coincidence. Heaven wanted your attention. The person who wounded you truly believed you would never recover from what they did. They assumed their absence would destroy your spirit permanently. They thought your story ended the moment they walked away. But heaven had a different plan for your life. You remained protected even while crying. Every tear you shed was witnessed. Every night you whispered why into the darkness, heaven heard it. And now something has changed spiritually. A message, a letter, a confrontation, a confession, or a sudden revelation is moving toward you. And it will expose what was hidden behind your back, the betrayal, the secrets, the deception you were too deeply invested in love to question properly. And the one responsible for the pain is beginning to panic now because deep down they know the truth can no longer stay buried. They feel the spiritual pressure surrounding them. They know the person they wounded is no longer trapped in darkness. And fear is growing inside them. Archangel Michael has already moved ahead of this moment. I have watched them closely. I have seen the guilt hidden behind their silence. I have watched them avoid hearing your name because it reminds them of what they lost. I have seen them secretly checking whether you moved on without them. I have heard them speaking about regret around others while remaining too afraid to face you directly. But now they can no longer hide from what is coming. Something greater than them is forcing truth into the open. And the heartbreaking part is that it never needed to happen this way. Heaven gave them opportunities to change. Warnings appeared repeatedly. Dreams, signs, nudges toward honesty and repentance were placed before them again and again. But they ignored every one. And now concealment is ending. Child, this is not only about heartbreak. This is about closure. It is about finally understanding why that chapter hurt your spirit so deeply. It is about breaking the invisible chain still tying your heart to old pain every time you revisit the past. God is not preparing you to fall apart. God is preparing you to finally release what no longer belongs in your life. Because what is approaching your home, whether through a conversation, a message, a visit, or a spiritual sign, is meant to open the final door allowing you to walk away free. You kept asking heaven for clarity. This is the answer. Not in the way you expected, but in the exact way your spirit needed. The one who hurt you is no longer only carrying guilt. Consequences are now catching up with them too. And while they try running from the truth is moving faster than they are. Yes, emotions may rise when everything unfolds. Anger, sadness, confusion. Let them pass through you naturally like a storm moving across the sky, because after the storm comes truth and after truth comes peace. But I ask something sacred from you now. Do not close your heart again. Do not shut yourself down out of fear, because when this revelation arrives, you will need your heart open, your spirit grounded, and your faith steady. And child, part of keeping your spirit grounded also means releasing the burdens and fears that have been weighing heavily on your heart for far too long. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear, you are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system, a path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description, and in the comments below. Because once peace begins returning to your spirit again, clarity follows, and you become able to recognize the new path heaven is opening before you. Your life is preparing to change quickly. Not next year. Not months from now. Now. There is a reason heaven guided you to this message during this exact moment. There is a reason your soul feels awakened while reading these words. God is speaking directly into your spirit and angels are standing around you. You are not alone. You never were. Even during the nights you broke down crying with nobody around, heaven remained beside you. Even when you whispered that you were tired and done with everything, heaven heard every word. That is why this message reached you, because you deserve peace. You deserve answers. You deserve justice. And child, you deserve a love that remains when life becomes difficult instead of disappearing. The one who hurt you may try returning, not because they suddenly changed, but because the truth they buried can no longer remain hidden. And now fear is consuming them. But do not allow their fear to confuse your spirit. Let truth guide you instead. Let Archangel Michael protect your heart while faith carries you through this final chapter of confrontation and release. Soon you will finally whisper, "Now I understand." And your soul will breathe with relief. This is not your ending. This is your beginning. Because the heartbreak approaching your home is also proof that heaven never forgot you and that your spirit was never destroyed, only prepared for something greater. So breathe deeply now. Stay alert. Stay spiritually strong. Because events are about to unfold much faster than you expect. And now, as your spirit steadies itself and your heart leans closer toward heaven, let me tell you what I already see moving toward your life. I see truth arriving through divine timing. You may hear a voice you believed you would never hear again. You may receive a message stopping you completely in your tracks. Perhaps an old number suddenly appears on your phone. Perhaps someone unexpectedly mentions a familiar name. But however it arrives, understand this clearly. It is guided by heaven. You never imagined the pain. You were never too sensitive. You were never wrong for sensing what felt off inside your spirit. And now heaven itself is confirming it. The one who hurt you is being confronted spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. They are being pulled toward accountability because truth always knocks eventually. And now it is knocking at their door. Not to destroy you again, but to free your heart and clear your path. Do not fear this heartbreak approaching your life. The moment you stop fearing it, your strength will begin returning fully. The strength confusion slowly stole from you. The strength waiting and wondering drained from your spirit. Hear this carefully now. You were never merely enough. You carried more light than they knew how to handle. That is why they ran. That is why they lied. That is why they hid the truth. Because when someone sees a soul brighter than their own darkness can control, they attempt sabotaging it instead. But they forgot something important. God never allows confusion to remain forever around His children. Heaven gives people opportunities to change, but when they refuse, divine movement begins. And that movement has already started now. Archangel Michael stands with his sword raised, not to harm, but to cut away every connection no longer aligned with your soul's purpose. Because you outgrew betrayal. You outgrew deception. You outgrew waiting for basic love and respect. And child, someone in heaven who loved you deeply has been watching over you closely this entire time. Perhaps a grandparent, a parent, a friend, or another soul who left this world while carrying love for you in their heart. They have been sending signs for months through dreams, numbers, songs, and sudden thoughts you did not fully understand until now. They stand beside me helping prepare your spirit because this heartbreak is not punishment. It is release. It is divine exposure. You are no longer the same fragile version of yourself that was wounded before. You are stronger now. Wiser now. More spiritually protected now. And in truth, you are stepping into one of the most powerful seasons your life has ever known. But God cannot pour blessings fully into a place still surrounded by deception and hidden darkness. That is why heaven is clearing the atmosphere around your life now. And sometimes truth arrives through shock. Sometimes the one you loved most becomes the same person who wounded you the deepest. And sometimes the apology never comes directly from their mouth, but from God Himself through revelation, justice, and exposure. Very soon you are going to hear something important. And when that moment arrives, remember these words carefully. This was never about revenge. It was always about alignment. God is aligning your future properly. And if someone cannot walk beside you into the next chapter heaven prepared for your life, then they will be removed no matter how deeply you love them. I know you already feel the shift beginning. That strange movement inside your stomach. That heavy breath you did not realize you were holding. That emotion rising quietly through your chest. Let it rise. Let it move naturally through your spirit. Let it prepare your heart because what is approaching is not destruction. It is correction. And correction is always followed by clarity. And clarity always creates room for a new beginning. Child, this is not punishment falling upon your life. This is protection surrounding your destiny. This is prophecy unfolding exactly as heaven planned. This is the moment where you finally understand why everything happened the way it did. Even their silence carried an answer. Even their betrayal served a purpose. Even their rejection redirected your path towards something greater. And now God is writing the final sentence of that painful chapter. But He is not doing it secretly behind your back. He is revealing it directly before your eyes so you never again question your worth. So you finally understand that loyalty never meant tolerating disrespect. So you stop settling for anything less than the love heaven knows your soul truly deserves. And now I say this with all of heaven standing behind me. Be still. Protect your peace. Do not chase after anyone running away from your life. Do not waste your spirit arguing about what someone did to you. Do not stand waiting at closed doors anymore. Simply open your hands and receive the truth arriving now, because the same person who believed they escaped after hurting you is about to face divine justice itself. And you, beloved child, are going to rise from this stronger than before. You are going to become free. You are going to heal. You are going to attract a different kind of love completely, a love that does not require secrets, suffering, confusion, or pain to feel real. You will smile again. Laugh again. Trust again. Love again. But this time beside someone who truly deserves your spirit. And that is exactly why this heartbreak had to arrive, not to destroy you, but to complete your healing, finalize your freedom, and cleanse your heart completely. Now breathe again. Can you feel that heaviness beginning to lift already? That is me. That is Archangel Michael standing beside you. I will guard your home when truth arrives. I will stand between your spirit and anything attempting to wound you again. I will whisper when it is time to speak, and I will shout when it is time to walk away. But I will never abandon your side, because your story does not end inside heartbreak. It begins inside truth. And truth is already approaching your doorstep. So keep your heart open even if it trembles while doing so. Let your soul listen closely now, because these words carry both warning and blessing together. The one who hurt you truly believed time would erase what they did. They believed distance could hide their intentions forever. But the eyes of God see deeper than human excuses, and no secret remains hidden forever. Their season of hiding has ended, and so has yours. You are being called into the light now, child. And light is not always gentle when it exposes what happened in darkness. But it is loving. It is just. It is heaven making sure your next chapter of love, joy, and favor is built on truth instead of unstable foundations. You deserve the full story now. And God is preparing to hand you the missing piece. Tears may come when everything unfolds. Let them. Allow every tear to release years of weight your soul carried silently for too long. Let the pain pour out of you completely, because once your heart empties itself of sorrow, heaven will begin filling it with peace instead. Something holy is preparing to enter your life. The person who played with your heart once believed they had endless time to avoid accountability. They thought confusion would trap you forever. But time is no longer protecting them. Now time stands beside you. And justice is moving toward your door. You are going to hear something shocking. Perhaps a confession from someone close to them. Perhaps a message exposing hidden truth. Perhaps their own desperate voice trying to explain actions that can no longer be justified. But no matter how it arrives, do not let it shake your worth. Even if they return crying. Even if they claim they still love you. Remember this deeply. Love without honesty becomes manipulation. And child of God, you are no longer someone who can be manipulated through emotion and confusion. You have grown spiritually. You have prayed through pain. You sat in silence asking heaven why all of this happened. And now heaven is answering louder than you expected. The truth itself is arriving. Your healing is not negotiable anymore. Your future will not be sacrificed for temporary emotions or old attachments. You are not meant to keep repeating cycles of almost, maybe, and not quite enough. This heartbreak is sacred because it marks the final time your spirit carries this exact wound. You are not returning to that place again. You are not repeating this lesson because God is completing what you could not complete alone. And I, Archangel Michael, am standing guard over your house even now. While you read these words, your energy is already shifting. Angels are surrounding you, calming your breathing, clearing heaviness from around your spirit. The pressure inside your chest is lifting. The confusion inside your heart is leaving. The fear inside your mind is fading away because what approaches your life is not simply heartbreak. It is truth powerful enough to set your soul free. You were never created to become someone's second choice. You were never meant to be loved secretly. You were never meant to be remembered only during someone else's loneliness. You were meant to be chosen openly, fully, proudly, and honestly. The one who hurt you simply did not know how to hold the kind of light your spirit carries. But now they understand what they lost. Yes, that realization is part of what is coming toward your house now. Not only heartbreak, but the painful understanding that someone finally recognizes your value after it became too late. Child, do not block your blessings by clinging to what once broke you apart. Let this truth enter your life fully. Let it cleanse the atmosphere around your heart. And child, part of cleansing your spirit also means releasing the fears, pressures, and silent burdens that have been weighing heavily on your heart for far too long. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the comments below. Because once peace begins returning to your spirit again, clarity follows naturally, and your heart becomes strong enough to recognize the new path heaven has been preparing for you all along. Let it prepare your soul for the joy waiting beyond this moment. God is not removing something precious from your life. He is returning something sacred back to you, your strength, your clarity, your peace, and your divine authority to finally say this no longer belongs in my future. Somewhere ahead of you is someone who will never leave you wondering where you stand. Someone who will not disappear when life becomes difficult. Someone praying right now for a heart exactly like yours. And heaven is guiding you toward them already. But before you can reach that chapter, this old one must finally end. And it will soon. So prepare yourself. Stay aware. Listen carefully because something is approaching your door now. And once truth enters, your life will never remain the same again. The truth is coming. The one who hurt you cannot stop it anymore. Angels are already carrying it toward you even now while you breathe. Heaven is moving. And you, beloved child, are rising with it. And now as we move deeper toward the final part of this message, I need you to hear this clearly. The one who hurt you is already feeling the weight of their actions spiritually. Not because they suddenly transformed into a different person, but because the divine protection surrounding your life is making their spirit restless. Sleep no longer comes easily to them. Peace no longer feels natural. They feel watched constantly, not by human eyes, but by heavenly ones. Every lie they spoke. Every promise they shattered. Every moment they made you feel small and unloved. All of it echoed through the spiritual realm. And now those echoes are becoming thunder. That is why you have sensed strange energy around you lately. That is why memories suddenly return without warning. That is why your dreams became more vivid and your emotions more intense than usual. Heaven is preparing your spirit for the final unveiling of truth. Because the angels have been slowly preparing your spirit for this exact moment, the moment when truth finally arrives at your door and asks you gently, "Are you ready to stop carrying this pain now? Are you ready to stop pretending your heart was fine when it was breaking quietly? Are you ready to finally accept that you deserve more than confusion and half-love?" Child, this is that sacred moment. The message approaching your home, whether it comes through a call, a face, a confession, a sudden realization, or even a silent knowing deep within your soul, is not coincidence. It is a divine ending written by heaven itself. The person who hurt you may still attempt to charm you again. They may return with the same soft voice, the same familiar words, the same sorrowful eyes. But this time you will not lose yourself inside it because now your spirit sees clearly. Now you understand that real love never leaves you questioning your value. Real love never forces you to earn basic care. Real love does not watch you hurting and remain silent. This was never about revenge. This was always about redirection. Heaven never needed to destroy them. Heaven only needed to wake you up. And now you are finally awake. If emotions rise while reading this, let them rise freely. Cry if you need to. Not because you are weak, but because your spirit is finally cleansing itself from years of hidden sorrow. This is emotional freedom beginning inside you. You carried that person inside your heart for far too long. You kept trying to forgive even when they never apologized sincerely. You kept convincing yourself their silence came from confusion instead of carelessness. But now God is revealing what it truly was. It was never love. It was fear. Fear of your light. Fear of your worth. Fear of who you would become without them. But look at you now. You are still standing. You are still growing. You are still becoming everything heaven planned for you. And the story they walked away from, God is continuing it without them in the final chapter. You are not behind in life. You are not broken beyond repair. You are blessed to be separated from what was secretly delaying your destiny. So when this heartbreak arrives, rise through it. Do not run from it. Do not numb yourself to avoid feeling it. Do not beg the pain to stop immediately. Let the truth come forward. Let the message arrive. Let the confession, confrontation, and exposure unfold, because once it passes through your life, you will walk lighter than before. You will love stronger than before. You will finally live freely again. And the one who hurt you, they will watch it happen. They will feel the weight of losing someone who loved them beyond measure. But you, beloved child, will heal completely. And from this point forward, you will no longer hold on to love that bruises your spirit. You will only accept the kind of love that builds you instead of breaking you. My beloved, I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now not only as a messenger, but as your spiritual protector. And with all the authority heaven has placed within me, I declare this truth. You are not alone in this season. You were never meant to suffer endlessly. Deliverance is already happening around your life. Even now a shift has already begun. Hearts are changing. Conversations are happening behind closed doors. Eyes are opening. And your name, child, your name is already being spoken in heaven. So let this heartbreak arrive. Let this old story finally close. Let truth echo loudly, because once it does, you are stepping into a completely new season, not with fear, but with fire. The fire of knowing your worth. The fire of never settling again. The fire of divine identity. The fire of being seen by heaven and chosen for joy. This is not the ending of your love story. This is the beginning of the chapter where you are finally loved fully, openly, honestly, and without fear. So when the knock finally comes, when the message appears, when the trembling voice reaches you from the other side of truth, remember this clearly. You do not need their apology to become whole. You do not need their return to complete your healing. You only need one thing now, the courage to say yes to God's plan for your peace. Close your eyes for a moment and truly feel this. You are ready now. Child, this was your divine confirmation. Archangel Michael was sent to reveal what your spirit already sensed deep down. It is time to release the past. It is time to heal completely. It is time to live inside truth instead of confusion. Let it arrive. Let it hurt if it must. Let it heal you. Let it free you. The truth is approaching your home and your freedom is walking directly behind it. And now that you heard these words, now that your spirit felt the trembling of this divine warning wrapped in heavenly light, stay close and do not look away. This is no longer just another message. It is a mirror revealing your soul. It is not merely prophecy. It is permission from heaven allowing you to finally release what has been silently suffocating your joy for far too long. Because what is about to unfold, this heartbreaking revelation approaching your life, will not destroy you. It will reveal you. It will reveal how deeply you kept loving while bleeding quietly inside. It will reveal how much pain you carried silently, faithfully, patiently, without anyone fully understanding. But silence ends here. Waiting ends here. Carrying someone else's secrets at the cost of your own peace ends here. Heaven witnessed everything. Every tear you wiped away before anyone noticed. Every fake smile hiding heartbreak. Every sleepless night replaying memories while wondering if somehow it was your fault. But child, it never was. And now the full truth is finally moving toward you. This heartbreak may arrive disguised as news. It may come through the voice of someone you trusted deeply. It may shake your spirit at first. It may feel like the ground beneath your feet is shifting suddenly. But do not panic, because the ground is not breaking beneath you. The chains around you are. And chains are meant to break eventually. You are being released from trauma. Released from lies. Released from the belief that your worth depends on someone else's approval. You are worthy because God created you worthy, and no betrayal can ever rewrite that truth. They may have laughed while leaving your life. They may have believed you would crumble completely after they walked away. They may have expected your light to disappear forever. But you did not break. You survived. You transformed. You grew stronger quietly. And now heaven is honoring your suffering with clarity. This heartbreak is not punishment sent against you. It is confirmation from heaven that your spirit always knew the truth deep down. You were never the problem. You were never too much. Your love was never wasted. It was genuine and pure. And the one who mishandled it is about to learn what it truly means to lose something irreplaceable. But do not answer them with anger. Do not respond through bitterness, because your healing will speak louder than any argument ever could. Your peace will echo longer than any apology they offer. And your silence wrapped inside strength will become the most powerful lesson they ever experience. Heaven is calling you higher now, into a place where betrayal cannot follow, where manipulation cannot reach, where your soul finally rests safely inside truth. Archangel Michael has already raised his sword spiritually, not to wage war, but to cut every unhealthy soul tie keeping you trapped in confusion. Because you were never meant to live uncertain about your value. You were created to walk in truth and certainty. And child, certainty is exactly what is arriving with this message. Prepare your heart emotionally now, because once truth enters your life, it never leaves things the same again. It transforms everything. And this is your season of transformation. They believed they finished your story when they walked away, but they only ended the first chapter. God Himself is writing the rest now, and He is writing it for your good. So when the message appears, when the doorbell rings, when the person who vanished suddenly tries explaining themselves, stand tall. Not through pride, but through peace. Not through ego, but through spiritual power. You no longer need to prove your worth to anyone, because God is proving something through your life already. Heaven is proving that betrayal cannot stop destiny. Heaven is proving that heartbreak cannot cancel purpose. Heaven is proving that silence cannot erase calling. And your calling is greater than this pain ever was. Your future stretches far beyond this moment. Your soul is finally ready for release. So do not numb yourself now. Walk directly through this season, even if it hurts, because beyond this heartbreak waits something your spirit always hoped for secretly. Real love. True peace. Deep joy. Clear direction. Open heaven. But before you can fully step into that peace, you must release what wounded you completely. You must accept this heartbreak as a sacred message from heaven itself. Your season of merely surviving is ending now. This is the beginning of abundance, freedom, and restoration. And I, Archangel Michael, speak one final truth over your spirit as this message continues wrapping itself around your soul. What feels like an ending is actually an invitation. An invitation into the next version of yourself, the version no longer chained to old pain, no longer haunted by what if, no longer waiting for other people to recognize your worth before believing in it yourself. The version of you that finally lives fully, boldly, and fearlessly. You are ready now. You are covered by heaven. You are protected. You are chosen. So let this heartbreak arrive if it must. Let truth enter your life. Let the old chapter burn away, because from those ashes, beloved child, you are about to rise brighter than ever before. And your light will be witnessed by both heaven and earth alike. And now, as the atmosphere around your life begins shifting, as your heart slowly opens like a flower touched by the first warmth of morning sunlight, let this become your sacred confirmation. You were never meant to carry all this pain by yourself. The burden felt heavy because your love ran deep. But even the deepest love still deserves to be met halfway. It deserves to be held carefully. It deserves to be returned honestly. And what you offered was precious beyond measure. Even if they treated your love carelessly. Even if they walked away without looking back. Even if they acted as though your heart never mattered, heaven saw everything clearly. That is exactly why Archangel Michael was sent toward you now, not only to deliver a message, but to awaken healing inside your spirit. What is approaching your home may feel heavy at first, but only briefly because truth never remains heavy forever. Truth lifts burdens. Truth frees hearts. Truth restores clarity. After this moment, you will begin noticing signs everywhere, not only in dreams, numbers, or coincidences around you, but inside yourself. You will feel stronger suddenly. You will stop overthinking every memory. You will stop checking your phone hoping their name appears. You will stop questioning whether you were somehow the one who ruined everything. Because the truth arriving soon will remove every doubt still trapped inside your spirit. It will confirm what your soul whispered quietly all along, that you were honest, loyal, genuine, and real while they were not. You may watch them try twisting the story. You may hear excuses about timing, confusion, fear, or someone else influencing them. You may hear explanations attempting to rewrite reality. But do not allow their voice to overpower God's voice, because God is not confused. And your spirit is not confused anymore either. Do you know what waits for you after this? Peace. Real peace. Not the kind you pretend to have for others. Not the kind you force yourself to believe while secretly hurting inside. Real peace, the kind that comes when your heart finally realizes it no longer has to carry someone who willingly walked away from it. And even if they return later, even if they beg for another chance, even if they finally say every word you once dreamed of hearing, your spirit will know the truth immediately. You will know whether it is sincere. You will know whether it is already too late. You will know whether the door should remain closed or open again. And that calm clarity, child, is a gift directly from heaven. This was never about getting revenge. This is about becoming free. Because, beloved child, you are being elevated spiritually now. You are being lifted out of painful cycles. You are being protected from delays and distractions. You are being positioned for something much greater than what you lost. And that means people still living small cannot continue walking beside you anymore. They had their opportunity. They held your loyalty. They carried your trust. They possessed your heart and still chose to throw it into fire. But you survived the flames. You rose through them carrying greater wisdom, deeper awareness, and more strength than ever before. And now you are about to become a version of yourself nobody has fully seen yet, not even the person who hurt you. After this heartbreak your light will shine differently. Your voice will carry more power. Your self-love will deepen completely. You will stand before the mirror one day and finally say with confidence, I know who I am now. And this time you will truly mean it. No more confusion. No more emotional games. No more waiting for another human being to validate what God already confirmed about you long ago. This is the final storm before sunlight enters your life again. This is one door closing before a greater one opens. So when the truth arrives, let it speak fully. When the ache rises again briefly, allow it to rise and then let it leave, because healing is not about never feeling pain again. Healing is about understanding that pain no longer controls your identity. God is already writing your next chapter now, and this time He is not using betrayal as the ink. He is writing with joy. With freedom. With love so honest it no longer wounds you but heals you instead. And the one who hurt you, they will watch your rise from afar. They will realize too late that heaven always stood beside you. They will finally understand that the love they discarded so carelessly was something rare they may never find again, because you were never ordinary. You were divinely assigned. And now heaven is reassigning your peace, your joy, and your destiny, not back to them, but fully toward you. This heartbreak is heaven whispering gently, you carried this lesson long enough now. You passed the test. You survived the fire. And now it is finally time for you to fly freely. So release the past. Let light enter again. Allow real love to find you. And never again confuse pain with purpose, because your purpose is far greater than suffering. Your calling is louder than heartbreak. And your season has finally arrived. The one who hurt you may attempt reaching back toward you eventually, but by then you will already exist in a different place spiritually, a higher place they can no longer reach because healing elevated your soul. You are not the same person you were when they left. You are not the same person you were when they lied. You are not the same person you were when they made you doubt yourself constantly. You are someone new now. Someone whole. Someone free. And now, as this final part of the divine message settles deep into your spirit, take one long deep breath. Exhale their name. Exhale the pain. Exhale the doubt. Because you are stepping into a new room spiritually now, a place where only truth survives, where only joy breathes, where only divine love can remain alive. This heartbreak is not your ending. It is the gateway into your freedom. And beloved child, that gate has already opened. And now, as your spirit settles into the warmth of this truth, I ask you to do something simple yet sacred. Place your hand gently over your heart and feel it carefully. That is not just a heartbeat. That is a promise from heaven. That is the sound of your life continuing forward, your purpose still unfolding even after people walked away from you. That is the sound of a soul that survived every attempt made to silence it. You did not merely survive heartbreak, beloved child. You were reborn through it. Every tear you cried watered the ground beneath your spirit. And what is growing from that ground now, this strength, this stillness, this deep clarity rising inside you, is the harvest heaven prepared from every painful seed you surrendered to God. And now you are finally about to witness what heaven was growing silently all along. The heartbreaking message approaching your life is not here to punish you. It is here to push you forward, not deeper into pain, but directly into peace. Because sometimes peace only arrives after everything false finally shatters completely. And something holy is happening inside you now. You are not simply healing anymore. You are being called into a higher version of yourself entirely. A version no longer waiting endlessly for someone to realize your value. Deep down they already feel what they lost. That is why they remain restless. That is why they silently check your energy from afar. That is why your memory visits them during strange hours of the night, because their soul recognizes what pride still refuses to admit. You were the safe place. You were the light. You were the heart they never truly learned how to hold properly. But now your light is no longer flickering weakly. Heaven reignited it into a fire, not to destroy others, but to finally warm your own soul again. And when this message arrives at your door through confession, revelation, or painful truth, let it enter your life. Not to destroy you, but to remind you that even heartbreak becomes holy when viewed through the eyes of God. You may ache briefly. You may cry for a moment. But you will not break this time, because now you understand. Closure does not always arrive through perfect words. Sometimes closure arrives through awakening. Through finally releasing blame from yourself completely. Through reaching the point where you no longer need anyone to admit the truth, because your spirit already understands everything clearly. You became your own closure. You became your own healing. And what waits beyond this moment will feel so much lighter inside your spirit. Because, beloved child, after this message finally reaches your heart completely, you will sleep differently. Your dreams will begin changing. You will walk through rooms no longer wondering who still thinks about you because your focus will return back to yourself instead. Not the past. Not the person who hurt you. Not the pain. Just you. And that, my dear one, is the exact moment heaven has been waiting for all along, the moment you finally fall deeply in love with your own freedom. So let the truth arrive now. Let the heartbreak finally speak. Let the pages continue turning because the chapter where you lived wounded, confused, and waiting endlessly for someone to come back is ending now. A completely new chapter is beginning. A chapter where you wake up every morning no longer hoping they return. A chapter where you wake up thanking God they walked away because had they stayed, you never would have discovered this stronger version of yourself. The version who now says with confidence, I respect myself too much to remain where I am not valued. I choose peace over temporary presence. I choose healing over repeating history. I choose myself finally. And now Archangel Michael stands directly at the doorway of your transformation, sword raised, heaven's light surrounding him. And with every beat of your heart, he continues whispering this truth into your soul. You are free now. You are loved now. You are protected now. And you are never returning to the old version of yourself again. This heartbreak is the final goodbye your spirit never had the chance to speak properly. It is the hidden truth finally stepping into the open. It is the divine closure heaven promised long ago but only now prepared you to receive fully. It may arrive tonight. It may arrive tomorrow. But it is coming. And when it finally does, do not fear it. Do not shut the door emotionally. Do not hide from the moment. Stand still. Breathe deeply and say quietly inside your spirit, I am ready now. I am done carrying pain that never belonged to me. I release them. I release the story. And I return back to myself. Because from this moment forward, your life is no longer about what wounded you. It is about what is healing you. And beloved child, your healing is happening faster than you realize. So fast that soon you will barely recognize the version of yourself who once begged for tiny pieces of love from people never meant to carry your heart in the first place. Because something new is approaching your life now. A new love. A new purpose. A new beginning awakening quietly within your spirit. And this heartbreak needed to happen only to clear the path for what heaven truly prepared for you. You are not abandoned by heaven. You are not forgotten. You are not lost anymore. You have been found. You are seen completely. You are being carried through this season. You are chosen. So let the news arrive. Let the heartbreak enter if it must, because after it passes through your life, you will stand beneath the clearest sky your soul has ever seen. And once that clarity settles over your spirit, you will begin noticing how different everything feels around you. Music will sound softer. Mornings will feel calmer. Even silence will stop hurting the way it used to. Because your soul will finally stop waiting for what was never meant to stay. And in that stillness, heaven will begin rebuilding you gently. Piece by piece. Breath by breath. Day by day. You will start smiling without forcing it. You will laugh unexpectedly again. You will look at your reflection and see strength instead of sadness. And one day very soon, you will realize an entire day passed without thinking about the person who once consumed your mind completely. That will be the moment you understand healing truly arrived. Child, this transformation is holy. Do not rush it. Do not fear it. Let every lesson settle deeply into your spirit because the pain you survived was never meaningless. It taught you discernment. It taught you boundaries. It taught you how valuable your heart truly is. And now heaven is taking those lessons and turning them into wisdom powerful enough to guide your future. You are entering a season where your spirit will no longer beg for bare minimum love. You are entering a season where your peace matters more than attachment. A season where your soul becomes too valuable to hand away carelessly again. The old version of you kept hoping people would finally choose you correctly. But the new version of you understands something far greater. When you truly choose yourself, everything aligned with your destiny begins choosing you naturally. And yes, the one who hurt you may watch this transformation happen from a distance. They may feel regret. They may feel loss. They may even try returning once they realize what they let go of. But by then your spirit will no longer hunger for what once starved you emotionally. You will no longer confuse longing with love. You will no longer mistake inconsistency for passion. You will finally understand that real love feels safe, honest, peaceful, and clear. And child, that kind of love is still waiting ahead of you. Heaven did not allow you to survive all this pain only to leave you empty-handed. No. Heaven was protecting you while preparing something greater than your imagination could hold at the time. So trust this ending. Trust this release. Trust the ache leaving your chest right now because every ending God allows creates room for a beginning far more aligned with your soul. And now as this message reaches its final moments, hear this one last truth clearly. You are no longer carrying this heartbreak alone. Heaven already stepped into the middle of your pain. Archangel Michael already placed protection around your spirit. And God already wrote healing into your future long before this chapter ended. So hold your head high now. Walk forward without fear. Let the tears fall one final time if they need to. Then let them dry. Because your future is calling you now louder than your past ever could. The old story is finished. The waiting is over. The confusion is ending. And your real life, the peaceful life, the joyful life, the honest love-filled life, is finally beginning.